welcome back to the channel. My name is Sarah. I'm the owner and photographer of Salt and Light Photography. I just want to talk to you guys today about my Pentax 645N and how much I love this thing. This is my very first medium format film camera. So I've been shooting weddings for 2 years and I've been incorporating film photography in my client work for the last year. And the Pentax 645N was my very first medium format film camera that I started shooting for my clients. I gotta say, this thing is one of my favorite medium format film cameras. The Pentax 645N is a very hardy film camera, as I like to call it. She's really bulky, she's really heavy, but I actually really like that because when I'm shooting, I don't know, it feels good to have something to hold on to and that I feel like won't fail me while I'm shooting. She's built like a tank. If I were to drop it, I fully believe it would continue working for me if I continued as I was. That's what I really like about it. I trust it with my wedding work because I literally have had this for over a year and I've never had to change the batteries yet. The batteries last forever. In my case, they'll eventually run out, but they only take AAA batteries. I'm not sure because I've never had to change the batteries, but I always bring some for backup just in case. But yeah, it's really easy to carry around for batteries. Go to Walmart, pick up some batteries, and there you go. The lens I really use on it is a 75mm lens, 2.8, that came with the camera. The kit I bought came with, I think, another lens. It was 150mm. I've never used it on it yet. I just stuck with a 75mm. And I really like it. It's been really pretty bokeh and depth of field in my photos. The autofocus on this lens is really reliable. I've never really had many images come back to me and it's unfocused. I mean, I've had a couple, but looking back through my images over the last year, I've only had a few. But autofocus is really fast, really reliable. I really have trusted it. The Pentax 645N also comes with an internal light meter. The first 6 months of owning this camera, I just used the light meter and it was super accurate and I really trusted it completely. After this first 6 months, I ended up getting an external light meter, my Sconic, just to get my images looking how I wanted them to, which is the overexposed wedding photography look. However, if I'm just out shooting with my family, taking photos of them, on this camera, I just use the internal light meter and it nails it. Another thing I like about it is it's completely automatic, meaning you load your filament and it winds it for you. You take a snap and it advances the film for you to the next frame. And as soon as it hits the 16 shots, it auto winds it for you and you just pop it out. And I really like that because as a wedding photographer, the day goes really fast. I have to be moving really quick. And that kind of goes along with my con, is that this film back on the Pentax 645N isn't interchangeable, meaning you can't change the lens, or the film stock, the film stock while you're in the middle of shooting the roll. You have to completely finish shooting the roll of film before you can change the stock. Luckily, the kit I bought with this, the kit that I got for this came with several film backs, so I can just preload my film and before the wedding day. That way it's much quicker once I'm done with the roll of film to just put it in there real quick and move on the next roll. This thing is my workhorse. I take it to almost every single wedding that I shoot and she's never failed me. I really enjoy shooting it. It's comfortable in my hands. The viewfinder is a little small. I don't have the eye patch thing that some people have, but the viewfinder is really small. But other than that, it's really bright in there. I can see all the details I need to see. And at the very bottom of the screen is the light meter. And on my settings, my shutter speed and my aperture. The shutter speed on this camera goes up to 1,000. It's actually really good for medium format cameras. Like I said, I'm a wedding photographer, so I'm shooting in the middle of the day a lot. Some venues don't have very many shaded options or indoor lighting situations, so I'm having to up my shutter speed and my aperture pretty high some days. So I really like that about this camera is that it can go up all the way up to 1,000. One of the cons about this camera, honestly, I really actually kind of like, is the shutter is very loud on it. It's very choppy. When I'm shooting a ceremony, everyone looks at me when I fire on this camera. It's very loud during ceremonies. That's the only time I don't like it. The shutter sound, because it's very loud. It sounds kind of like a bazooka, but I really like it. I love a good shutter sound. The only time I don't like it and I feel really awkward is during ceremonies, and it's kind of distracting. Most other times I really enjoy the shutter. It's just if you're looking for a quiet shutter, this is not it for you. But if you don't mind it or you like a good shutter sound, this one has probably one of the best ones of all my medium format cameras that I've had. Another con that this camera has is it's very heavy. Normally I don't mind that. I can just kind of wear it on a harness when I'm shooting a wedding. However, I'm wearing the harness for several hours a day and it gets pretty heavy after a while. I'm also 7 months pregnant right now, and so I haven't been able to wear this camera as I've been shooting a wedding because it's so heavy. It really kind of hurts my back. Even though it's heavy, I still like the feeling of it in my hands when I'm just shooting just a singular camera walking around in my everyday life, on shoots, just wedding days. It can get kind of in the way. This camera also, if you don't have any preloaded film, luckily I have some, but if I don't have any preloaded, it takes quite a while for me to load my film into the camera, the film bag. The other day I was shooting a wedding and my roll had finished in the middle of the couple portraits, and so I had to have them wait for like 4 or 5 minutes for me to quickly change the roll of film and load it to the camera. Normally I don't mind that, but like I said, wedding days are just really fast paced and I felt really awkward having them wait for me. And the sunlight was leaving. It was just kind of stressful. So it takes a little bit to load. I have any film bags preloaded, so that's something to keep in mind as well. The Pentax 645N is definitely one of my favorite cameras to shoot. Overall experience that I have shooting it, the reliability of it, and the photographs I get back are all just beautiful. And it's a camera I probably will keep for a very long time, if not forever. But other 645 cameras that were very unreliable, very finicky, and that I honestly didn't really like shooting just because I was anxious of shooting them the entire time, especially a wedding day, that it was just gonna crap out on me. This camera's never failed me. Like I said, the batteries have never died, even after over a year of using it. And it creates really pretty images. And the price, honestly, for getting this camera, I think I got my camera kit for about $1,000 a year ago. And I got a lot of gear with it though too. It wasn't just the camera. I got film backs, I got 2 different lenses, and some film rolls with it. And that's honestly not bad for a medium format camera, especially one that I use all the time. So if you're looking for a beginner medium format camera, I definitely recommend the Pentax 645N, just to kind of get your feet wet, see if you like it. I also really like how you can get 16 frames on a roll of film on this camera. My Rolleiflex camera, you can only get 12. Of course, that's a different, it's 6x6, this is 645. However, I really like that, especially for shooting weddings, because you get more bang for your buck for each roll. So that's always nice. Anyways, I hope this video helps if you're in the market for looking for a 645 medium format film camera. I cannot recommend this camera enough. I think it's wonderful. Aside from the heaviness and the bulkiness of it, I think this is a great first step into medium format film. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I hope to have more videos out soon.